What is up, YouTube? Uh, little something different here. Good afternoon, good morning, good evening, whatever the heck, what time you're listening to this at or you're watching this at. Uh, Hello. My name is Austin Serrata. I am a host here for the Fundamentally Sound podcast. I haven't been on YouTube a whole lot, which is kind of a shocker, but at the same time, it's not because uh, when we do record for YouTube, or when Nick wants to record for YouTube, I'm usually either at work or just busy, regardless. For those on YouTube who haven't seen me in a while, I have now moved. I live in Dallas, which is it's wild. It's definitely wild. I've learned a lot since being here, and I will say that with with a few cracks in the armor, it's been a crazy time. But you know what? We're here. We're back. I'm excited to put this out for y'all. This will go out hopefully on Monday. If it goes out sooner, cool. If not, well, we tried. But at the same time, I'm just breaking down some news for y'all. This is a pre-recorded video. This is on Sunday evening, Sunday night. As you can tell under the bags of my eyes, I've had a full day of work, 10 hours. So, um, yeah, it's definitely at night. Definitely Sunday, 9 o'clock on the dot right now. But we're gonna jump right into it. This is the Fundamentally Sound podcast. I'm so excited to bring y'all the news. I hope y'all hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, and go listen to us on Spotify at the Fundamentally Sound podcast on Spotify. Please go check us out. It means the world to me because usually I'm the only one that does Spotify. Nick didn't enjoy it. I picked it back up. I haven't posted in 2 weeks. I'm actually doing that today as well. So the episode that you will hear Tuesday will be recorded today. The episode that you hear Thursday will probably be recorded Tuesday. Probably get Drew to jump on there. But this is just me. It's just me, myself, and I. Nothing spectacular. At the end of the day, I'm just here to tell you all the news. First and foremost, I would just like to say thank y'all for every bit of support that's been given. I don't care if you're just watching this video. I don't care if you've seen every video in the past or just watching this video right here now is your first video ever. Thank you for the support. It's amazing. I love every single one of y'all at the end of the day that do watch and that do tune in. But we're going to jump right into the news. So I have not been on any episode since the NBA has called it quits. I guess Lakers won the championship. Congrats to them. I'm a Spurs fan. We hate the Lakers. So it's kind of a bittersweet thing. Congrats to LeBron. Michael Jordan's still the GOAT. I don't care what anybody says. Literally, it's funny. Let me just talk about this real quick. It's funny. It's really, really funny. We live in an older world, I guess. Older demographics in terms of the United States. We are an old country. Now, people on Twitter, people on Instagram, people on Facebook. Well, usually, maybe not Facebook. Because that has an older demographic as well. They go on, they see these polls. I saw a poll the other day. It literally kind of sort of proved my point. But you can go on any ESPN, any major analyst that will post on ESPN that I've seen so far. Not like broadcast, not like been on, Jalen Jacoby, First Take, etc. You know what I mean? Now, those guys, obviously, they have a view from both points. They're professionals in a sense, like, I don't know. I think I heard Paul Pierce say that LeBron's a GOAT. I think Jalen said LeBron's a GOAT. Stephen A. Smith, I think, says LeBron's a GOAT. Max Kellerman doesn't, etc., etc., etc. But every article that I've seen that has been written by a major just sports network has said that Michael Jordan's the GOAT. Now these guys are older. If you go to Twitter, there's literally a demographical map, if that makes any sense, Demographical map put out that said, let's see, quick maths here real quick. I think it said that 32 states uh, 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 said that LeBron's the GOAT. It's one of those. 32 states said LeBron's the GOAT. 18 said that Michael Jordan's the GOAT. You read into this article, it says that it was made using Twitter mentions. Twitter is a young platform, mainly used by young people. Of course, Twitter is going to say that LeBron is the GOAT. If you literally go put out any poll, I promise you Michael Jordan is going to win the vote of the greatest of all time. Just because that there's a bunch of old heads out there that saw Jordan play, that see LeBron playing, they can decide. They've seen both. Talking to you out there, talking to you. You and I both know, whoever's watching this, you and I both know, I'm looking straight into the camera, you and I both know that we were not alive in Jordan's prime. If we were 3 or 4 or 2 or whatever, etc. We were not paying attention to anything that Jordan was doing. Now, I'm going to say this, and it's not going to matter because people have their own opinions. Michael Jordan is the popular vote for greatest of all time in the United States. I promise you, without a doubt, hands down. Just because, like I said, older demographic, they're going to stick to the old guys because they want to feel entitled. I still think Michael Jordan's the GOAT. I never saw him play, but I still think he's the GOAT. I just do. And you can go back to the talent. Well, you see this. This is the thing. There was that poll, or there was that picture that put out. He played all these guys, or there's a picture. My fault, not a poll. I just caught myself. LeBron James played all these superstars, and Michael Jordan only played these people. We got to realize that back in the day, there were super teams, but there really weren't like super teams like we see today. LeBron didn't have Kyrie and Kevin Love in one finals. Took it to 6 by himself. I understand that. But at the same time, if you look at the people that he's played, and then you see, I understand the role players come into play a very big deal. But if you look at it, he played against 3 superstars. I'm not considering Draymond a superstar. He's barely an all-star, if that. That's how I rank people. Superstar, all-star, stars, role players, and bench warmers. And he played 3 superstars, Kyrie, Steph, Clay, LeBron. Or why am I getting this mixed up? Steph, Clay, Kevin. He had Kyrie and Kevin Love and himself. You know what the difference is between this? One team drafted their bench players, which kudos to them for recognizing the real and not leaving because they were bench warmers for the entire time. A.k.a. Kevon Looney, Quinn Cook. I'm blanking in some senses, but there were more. There are more. I don't have to go over, all of them. One team drafted their bench players and developed them. The other one went out and bought crappy players, and that's what they get is crappy production from crappy players because you decided to spend $90 million a year on these 3 guys. Now, that's always been the problem with LeBron teams, and everybody says that he doesn't have any help, this, that. Well, it's because he goes to these teams and then destroys them, brings them down to the bare bones to go and get some superstar, and then utterly kills their I don't want to say reproductive system, but their pathway to better players through the draft. If you look at it, LeBron's teams are historically, like, bad at drafting. Terrible. What is this other kid? Tucker Talon? I don't know what his name is. He's terrible. He's a bench warmer. He's a straight bench warmer. Now, you can say that LeBron didn't have any help, but it's because of LeBron that he didn't have any help. Because you know that everything that LeBron, or every team member that LeBron has on his team is because he, like, hand chose him. Now, that's the last I'm going to get into. That's 10 minutes into just talking in this one topic. Kudos LeBron. Lakers won the title. Michael Jordan's still to go. Period and story. Let's move on. I need to move on. I didn't know it was that long. We were 10 minutes and 40-something seconds into that. And I don't care. You can sit here and argue about this stuff back and forth. You can't win. You can't win whatsoever. People say Kobe's the GOAT. Cool. That's great. You can't prove the fact that he's the GOAT. I can't prove the fact Michael Jordan's the GOAT. I can't prove the fact that LeBron's the GOAT. You can't do that. And at the end of the day, we're all just stuck behind some stupid guessing game. What ifs? One person did this, one person did that. He said, she said, basically. Doesn't matter. It doesn't matter, people. If you think LeBron's the GOAT, congratulations. You think LeBron's the GOAT. Cool. Awesome. I think MJ's the GOAT. Duh. Awesome. I have these facts. You have those facts. At the end of the day, we're getting nowhere. Moving on. In the NFL, today, we had a lot of young guns come out and sling the ball. Just when you think that we're about to lose probably Aaron, we're about to lose Tom, Russ is just still Russ. You're like, Josh Allen's starting to play, a little bit better. Or my fault. He's starting to play himself into the MVP role. Sam Darnold's not what we expected. Baker's kind of not what we expected. You kind of start to wonder, and it's like, you got Teddy, Cam's declining. Is the talent at quarterback kind of dying? Well, folks, let me tell you what. Joe Burrow, Justin Herbert, Baker, all these boys came out and balled out. I understand. The game's still going on right now. But I also want to throw Kyler in that mix. Kyler, Josh Allen, all these guys are freaking balling out, and I've never been more excited for the QB position in the NFL until now. This is going to be a whole new wave of just mobile quarterbacks that are going to. How did I forget Lamar Jackson? Patrick Mahomes and Lamar Jackson technically are now in their prime, but not really in their prime because they're so young. So I think they still have a lot to go, and that's scary. But this is the world of the mobile quarterback now. Even Russ can move if he really wants to. Russ can move. Josh Allen, Kyler Murray, freaking Daniel Jones was reaching 20 miles an hour. Like, he was like 0.1 off of Tyreek Hill's top speed. I've never been more excited for the quarterback position. Usually it's a bunch of dudes that are just stiff and they sit in the pocket. They make beautiful throws. Cool. Now we have people moving, getting to defenses, thinking this is going to be a super offensive movement after we've seen the defense wins championship movements that have, riddled the past, which is not a problem. It's not a problem whatsoever. But to see how these defenses are going to adapt is going to be crazy because more speed is going to kill now on the defensive side, in my opinion, because you're going to need these guys to keep up with these quarterbacks, like I said, Kyler, Daniel Jones, who once again reached 20 miles an hour, and Josh Allen, Lamar, just thinking about it, bro, it's just scary. If you don't have a mobile quarterback, Dak's even mobile. Well, too soon. Deshaun Watson's even mobile. To some extent, sure, Deshaun's more looked at it like a pass first, but in college he was running. He can run. It's not a problem for him. And I'm just excited. And today showed me why I should be. Joe Burrow, crazy good in this one league where you get crazy amounts of points for no freaking reason on some stupid freaking stats. He had 45 points. in fantasy. That's ridiculous. 45 points from a rookie is wild. He's been killing it actually this year, and nobody's really paying attention because they only pay attention to the losses. I think he had like 4 fantasy points last week or 2 weeks ago. But I'm really excited for this young group of guys, and I that's really all I have to say about the NFL right now because I want to dive a little bit more into the NFL with the Spotify. So once again, go and follow our Spotify. Just is what it is. It's 1-2 punch. But anyway, moving on, college football. Now I will dive a little bit deeper into college football on the YouTube channel. First off, let me just admit I've never played football. I really wish I could, but my school didn't have it. I can't tell you what defense somebody's running, what kind of freaking routes. Go route, curl route, slant, post, all this other shiitake mushroom that I just, I know the basics, but I don't know anything on the defensive side. No blocking schemes, no nothing, right? But I do know the eye test. I do. I know my shiz about freaking football. I just don't really get technical. I'm not a professional at the sport in terms of, IQ. Just is what it is. I didn't play the sport. If I would have played the sport, I guarantee you I would have been a little bit more educated. But I just want to throw that out there right now. However, anyway, moving on. Wisconsin's out here showing out, and their quarterback tests positive, facing 21-day absence. How can you go from completing like 80% of passes? Don't quote me on that. I'm notorious for also not looking up stats before. That man Drew Brummer on YouTube, he is notorious for knowing every single thing about every single person that he talks about, and not a bad thing. It's a great thing. However, myself, I don't want to spend 95 minutes looking up every single individual stat. 20 for 21, 248 yards and 5 touchdowns. Mertz. I think his name's Graham Mertz. I'm not too sure about his first name. That is ridiculous. He showed out. Wisconsin's looking good. But they are definitely now in jeopardy. Mertz tests positive. He's going to get another test here pretty quick. And honestly, if he tests positive again, Wisconsin's looking in trouble. Their run game's not what it usually is because it seems to me like they're shifting more towards... Nope, never mind. I definitely lied. Just now looking at it, they ran the ball 54 times. Run game's definitely not looking like it used to with, the Melvin Gordon, Jonathan Taylor days. They ran the ball 52 times. And this is an average. Jeez Louise, they had so many people run the ball. Oh my gosh. 3.4 yards per carry, though. That's abysmal. Between their running backs, 5.4, 3.3, and 3.3. That's terrible. Except for the 5.4. Obviously, 5.4 is great. 3.3 is average at best. 3.3 is very average. I usually would say that anywhere close to 4. 3.8 to 4.2 is my range of averageness. So 3.3 is under average, and then anything over 4.2, in my opinion, is pretty good. Above average. And if you get to the 5s, whew, you're killing it. But anyway, moving on. I think that this Wisconsin thing is definitely going to backfire. I think that he's not going to play next Sunday, and it's going to kill him. And that's sad because then that just means that COVID has yet won another. Something's going on with my computer right now. I don't know. But anyway, COVID's yet won another one, and it just takes me off. Another man looking ready right out the gate. Big Ten man, Justin Fields. Nothing super impressive. 2 touchdowns, 1 on the ground. Nothing super impressive. However, he is ready to make this Heisman run. And I think that he should be the Heisman frontrunner. I haven't seen anything super like, ooh, this, ooh, that. Nobody's really running away with this race. And I can't wait to see what Justin Fields throws into this race because, it's just... I don't know. Justin just definitely brings a whole different aspect, and I think Georgia's kind of biting themselves in the butt for letting him leave. Honestly, I think he should have started over Jake Fromm. Jake Fromm should have been gone. But he's definitely taken that number 5 Ohio State team to the playoffs, in my opinion, and I can't wait to see him there. But moving on, North Carolina, Mac Brown. Now, North Carolina has proved that they are to not be taken lightly. However, they can't crack that top 3, in my opinion. Or what is going on here? Why is my computer starting up all these programs? Anyway, North Carolina showed out against North Carolina State. They were 14, and actually, just let me look at their new rankings because I think they came out with new rankings. Wow, they actually dropped one to. This is why I'm saying these rankings are so whack this year. You beat the number 23 team. You're number 14. You beat them by 20 plus points, and you drop a ranking. Michigan moves up 5 for beating the 21 ranked team, and you're 18 at the time. This is what I'm not getting. Why is this a huge jump? Indiana beats Penn State. Penn State drops 10 spots. 10. Why is there such a drop? This year's rankings has been so whack. It is just unfreaking real. I can't go on a bigger rant. It has honestly ticked me off. One loss kills people in this year's rankings, apparently. Now, granted, you could say, with UGA only dropping, a couple spots after losing to Bama, and then A&M, obviously one lost team in the top 10, as well as Florida. There's a few special cases, but outside of that, Miami dropped to 12 because once again they lost to Clemson, which they didn't deserve to drop, a crazy amount because again it's a top team. I think they went from 5 to 11 or something like that whenever they lost. Great, fantastic. They dropped 6 spots. But K-State moves up 4 after beating Iowa State, who was 17. Why is North Carolina dropping? I'm just not understanding it. Why did they drop after beating number 23 team? But K-State can beat the number 17 team and jump 4 spots. Michigan can beat the number 21 team and jump 5 spots. Wisconsin can just get one dominant win and immediately jump 5 spots. Coastal Carolina's 5-0, and they went from 25 to 20. Leading me into my next subject, who is Coastal Carolina? They were only known for their baseball. Why are they here? Can we... You know what? Let me just look at it real quick. Who are they beating? Holy bejeebus. They beat Louisiana Lafayette. They've beaten Kansas, which Lafayette was 21. Congratulations. They won by 3. They beat Campbell and Arkansas State. I don't even know if Campbell's an FBS school. It's definitely not. Kansas is trash. Arkansas State's trash. Georgia Southern, trash. But just because they beat Louisiana Lafayette, they were 25. And they beat Georgia Southern, trash team, jump 5 spots. They're at 20 now. They don't deserve to be 20. They will probably go undefeated this year because they play Georgia State, South Alabama, Troy, Appalachian State, Texas State, and Liberty. Liberty may beat them. Liberty's 6-0. And just because they haven't beat a ranked team, they're not ranked. Let me look at Liberty real quick. I just want to see who Liberty's beaten. They've beaten Western Kentucky, Florida International, North Alabama. Florida International and Western Kentucky are probably at the same level as all these teams that Coastal Carolina's playing. They've beat Syracuse. They've beat Louisiana Monroe. All these people pretty convincingly. We're talking 56-35, 38-21, 40-7, 28-7. They only barely survived Florida International by 2, and they beat Western Kentucky by 6. Why is that team not ranked if Coastal Carolina is? Just because Coastal Carolina beat 21 ranked Louisiana Lafayette, who's was a borderline top 25 team to begin with. Um, they deserve to be in over Liberty. These rankings make 0 sense this year. 0 cents. That's not just because UT's not in the rankings. These rankings are complete garbage. However, going back to UNT, which, why did I say UNT? UNC. I live in Dallas. UNT, North Texas, right across the road. I think this is proving that Mac Brown gets the best out of his recruits, which is something that these Texas coaches now can't say that they can. They hit on Sam Ehlinger, but everybody on defense seems to be lacking in terms of that. In terms of UT football, I can't even remember the coach before that. Charlie Strong. He couldn't get the best out of anybody. Period. He was trash. He was garbage. But I don't think it was Mac Brown's fault. I don't think we ever should have fired him. I didn't like the firing whenever they did fire him. Was it a time for a change of scenery for him? That's why they're doing good? Maybe. But I also think that Mac Brown got the best out of who he got, and I think it's showing. Tom Herman and Charlie Strong have not been able to do that. Maybe Tom Herman to the extent on offense, but in terms of defense, no. Tom Herman's a very offensive coach. Showed at U of H, showing here. I don't know. It's just one of those things. Texas football is definitely not back. I have now converted to the UTSA Roadrunners. Birds up. Nah, psych. But UTSA is making waves. I'm telling you, they took BYU to the freaking... They almost had them. They took them to the very last second, in my opinion. UTSA is just... I don't know. It's just one of those things. They beat Louisiana Tech. I just follow them because they're like right here. So they always have that one good win every year. But anyway, moving on. SMU showing that Shane Buechele once again was undervalued at Texas. I definitely think so. But that is just me. I'll stop there. I want to talk about Khabib for a little bit. We're moving on to the UFC. Khabib and Gaethje over the weekend. There was there's really no question. If you wanted Gaethje to win, you're really just betting on you're really just betting, period. You wanted that money because deep down you knew he wasn't going to win. Khabib deserved it 100%. That guy is ridiculous. The best pound-for-pound fighter in the UFC. And he's hanging it up. It's wild. I can't believe it. I just want to know who gets a shot at this title now, because I think Connor's 3. Does Gaethje get another shot? Maybe being the title, the title holder, because he was interim. I don't know. It's going to be tough. I want to see if Khabib really leaves and just says, hey, deuces, I won a champion, 29-0. This title's y'all's. Go get it, whoever wants it. Or if he's actually going to come back and fight. We'll see. Pass. I'm retiring. Pieces have definitely not gone that way. But I think he's done because his dad tragically passed away because of complications from COVID. And I can understand whenever he says that he can't get in the ring without his dad. It's just one of those things, man. When you've been with your parent, with your coach, with anything in terms of sports, if they're there to guide you through it, losing them is huge. I can't say, from a personal standpoint, I know how it feels, but I mean, I never had that coach. I never had that parent that really stuck with me like that through sports. I've had coaches stand up for me, and whenever I was in the low points, but they never from the bottom up. You know what I mean? Uh, but God, man, whenever you go your whole life with one person right there by your side, whether it be your best friend, whether it be your coach, whether it be your parent, they go to every single game, every single fight, every single whatever show out, and then they're just gone after 20, 30 years. That hits hard. That hits hard. And I don't know, but I don't know it personally, but I know for a fact that hits really hard. Look at Michael Jordan. Look at Khabib. Two GOATs in their own respective categories. And, it's tragic. But I feel for Khabib. Congratulations to him. He definitely deserved it. He's the GOAT of the UFC. Without a doubt. He didn't need any flash like the Conor flash like everybody else has. Conor will go down as one of the greats, but Khabib will go down as the GOAT. Bet me on that. But guys, it is 30 minutes. I usually don't run this long. I usually go about 20 to 30. It is now reaching into the 31. But I just hope that if you stayed throughout, I hope that you click the subscribe button, turn notifications on. But I appreciate it. I love every single one of y'all. If you haven't hit me, if you haven't talked to me in a while, I'm terrible at keeping up with friends. I literally have one of my best friends here in Dallas with me, and I literally have not been able to keep up with them because I've been going every which way. I've been going home. I've been going 40 hours a week with work. Girlfriend coming over, going to my girlfriend, etc. It's just been hard. But if you haven't seen me in a while, bro, hit me up. Send me a text, bro. I'm always down to talk. If you were a friend of mine then, you're a friend of mine now. If I don't have anything wrong with you, then yeah, you're going to get a text back. I will text you back a few times. I don't know. But yeah, just check in. I like to see how my boys are doing. My ladies out there, same with y'all. If you're, if you're, I'm not saying hit me up. I got a girlfriend, but if you want to just say hi, say hi. But anyway, I will catch y'all later. This has been the Fundamentally Sound Podcast. Another random episode. It'll go up Monday, hopefully. But yeah, we'll see y'all later. Peace.